In today's video, we're going to be eliminating one of the weak points of this truck. We're going to be putting the JB Conversions slip yoke eliminator along with a couple of NP233 parts from a Jeep that is going to allow me to use my drive lines that I had in my Jeep using a 1350 output flange and the stock TJ front output yoke. In order to get started on this thing, we're going to have to tear it out of the truck, clean it up, and get it prepped and ready for tearing down. So let's do it. We have the transfer case sitting on the bench here. I took the shifter motor off. We're probably not going to be using that anymore. Now this is a NP233C. The transfer case that's in my TJ or in YJ's, TJ's, in Jeeps is the NP231J. Now the internals of these are very, very similar. I'll note the couple differences right now. One, the output shaft. This is the housing is slightly different on this one, and the front output is also a slip yoke compared to an actual yoke on the 231J. Although the internals of these two transfer cases are super similar, the 233C is a 27 spline to mate to the 4L60E, and the 231J is a 21 or 23 spline input shaft depending on which transmission you have. And also the back of these, the 233 is a 5 bolt. The 231J uses studs and has 6 bolts. So these are not compatible, as in I cannot take my transfer case from my Jeep and bolt it directly up to the back of the S10. It just would not work. And then you have the automatic shifter section here. This is going to be completely different than the 231J, which we'll address probably in a later video. So my buddy's S10 with 40s on it, the one with the flatbed, the black one, he made a hybrid T case in that he took Nate's old 231J with a slip yoke eliminator, and he took this case, the 233C, basically took the two halves, mated them together, and made one transfer case that he had the slip yoke eliminator on. Unfortunately, when doing that, you no longer maintain your Chevy speed sensor, and that's one of the things, because I'm going to be driving this on the road, I have to have a speedometer. I want it stock. I want it factory. That way it can get programmed to the different speeds for the different gearing and different tires. I want that ability to keep that factory speedo. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it this way. So the plan for this video is we are using a JB Conversions NP233, 231, it fits a bunch of transfer cases because it's the same internally. The only thing different that I'm going to be doing is adding to this is I'm going to be swapping out the front output shaft for that slip yoke for one out of a 231J. Now this is the gear and the output for a 231J and the yoke for a 231J, and then we have our nut and a seal. I think I'm in this whole front output with all this stuff. I got it on eBay, used parts. I think I'm about 60 bucks into it to convert the front output from the slip yoke for the 233C to a 231J front output. That way I can still utilize that front drive line that I have. Now I'd say probably the only special tool really that you need for this project is a good pair of snap ring pliers to get the snap rings off the bearings to start removing stuff off of the main shaft. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward, so let's start tearing her down. Don't need that anymore. Now that we have the case split, now's a good time to kind of show you everything that's going on here. So this is our old main shaft. It's going to be replaced with this short guy right here. So we'll be pulling this out and swapping over the gears and everything off of this. We have our chain right here, and then this is the front output, which is going to be super easy. We're just going to we're already going to have it out. There's going to be a snap ring on this side, I believe, and then this will pop out, and then we can put this in there and put our new seal in. With the JB Conversions, these are all the parts that we are getting. So we got, this is going to bolt to the outside of this guy right here. We got some new snap rings, new nuts, new bearing, and you can see we got our magnet from the bottom of the case right here. Make sure you don't forget to put that back in. But from here, we just got to take this main shaft out along with this chain, and then swap everything over from this main shaft to this main shaft, and then reassemble everything with the new piece right here as well. Oh, got it. Slip these off. There we go. Next thing we're going to do is get this thing all cleaned up, and I also want to say that you can upgrade to a wider chain kit on this, and also you can upgrade to a 6-gear planetary, which is going to be a little bit stronger. I'm not super worried about it, so I didn't spend the extra money, but if I ever throw a V8 in this thing, these are definitely things that I would consider upgrading. So we need to replace the bearing and this tail housing right here. So this new bearing has a big lip right here. That's going to go down towards the inside. So you can see we already pressed that other bearing out, and then this one we're going to press in. And you can see on this aluminum housing right here, the outside, it has a machined lip that this bearing, the outer race, will go into, just like that, and we will bolt that on. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit more before we start assembling it. So here it is, guys, all complete. We got our flange, which is a 1350 flange output on our NP233C. We have our hybrid part. This is our NP231J. This is the yoke output. Function checked everything. We are in 4 low right now, so we are 272 to 1 crawling. Another thing that I did buy was, this is a Northwest Fab clocking ring, because I heard from some people that you might have to clock this transfer case down when you're doing a straight axle swap in these, so it was like $150, so I bought it. It'll give me the option so I can spin it down if my front driveline angle is not enough. The last thing I want to address is our shifter here. This is where the shift motor attaches. Let me know how you guys think I should turn this into a manual shift transfer case. Leave that down in the comments, and let me know what you guys have done. If you guys have done it in the past, hit me up, email me, send me pictures, whatever you want to do. But for now, this thing is all done and ready to bolt back in, minus figuring out this and I guess figuring out this. But we got the transfer case done, one step closer to getting this thing on the trail. Now that I have this out, this is kind of, the transfer case is kind of half the battle in pulling the transmission out, especially in these four-wheel drives. So this 4L60E shifts totally fine, it works fine, but has like 160, 170,000 miles on it. I would feel really stupid if I didn't just take the opportunity, since I already have most of it out, pull the transmission. I have a full rebuild kit for it. I got a bunch of upgraded parts, Sunshell, Corvette servo. I got a bunch of all the stuff that goes wrong with the 4L60E. I used to rebuild these, used to do these at the dealership when I worked there, so it's not going to be that big a deal for me to just pop it out, replace all the seals, replace all the clutches, and upgrade the weak points in the 4L60E. I have the opportunity to do it right now. I have no timeline to get this thing done at this moment, so I'm just going to do it. So next week, we will be probably doing the rear 3-link finally because I have all the parts. Well, that's going to be it. If you want to follow me on social media, I am at MuddyBeards4x4. We got website, shirt, stickers, stuff like that, muddybeards4x4.com. We got an Amazon store, discount codes for our sponsors. And until next time, guys, we will see you back here in the garage.